All right, so first things first, we're just going to play around checking in on our balance this morning. So in a standing position, you're just going to take a big step to one side, pick one leg up, doesn't need to be fancy, hold it for a second, step that leg over and across to the other side, pick your leg up, and then take it nice and slow. So nice big step to one side, pick your leg up, hold it, big step to the other side, pick your leg up and hold it. So no big fancy movements. You can keep your standing leg a little bit bent so you really see where you're at this morning, and you might feel your ankles wiggle, your toes crunch up, all that bit of work that helps you find that balance and hold it for a second. But just see if you can find a little centering. So we want to tune in, start to find your abdominal muscles engaging as you take that balance side to side. We got 23 seconds left, and no worries if your balance is way off. Maybe you step that big step and then keep your toe in the ground till you can find it, and then take it over to the other side. 13 seconds left. You got this. And time. Nicely done. Okay, step your feet about hip shoulder distance apart. Just a nice wide even stance. We're going to take it into some roll downs. So tuck your chin down, bend your knees like you're peeling your back away from a wall. Roll down towards the ground. Keep your knees bent the whole time. Keep your knees bent, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll back up like you're pulling your ribs up towards the ceiling, and then just a little lift of the chin upward towards the sky, and then right back to it. Bend your knees, tuck your chin down to your chest. Keep your knees bent the whole time, touch the ground. Super generous bend in the knees, roll your way back up. And as you start to find that roll back up and then lift the chin, what we want to think about is those ribs. So as you roll down towards the ground, think about pulling the abdominal muscles in, and then keep those abdominal muscles in. Pull your ribs upward towards the ceiling, lift your chin up, and then right back to it. Tuck chin down, bend your knees, roll down to the ground. We're already halfway there. Notice how the backs of your legs are feeling here as you get to that folded position. Next minute of work, we're going to bend and straighten the legs. So just make sure that when we get to that next minute of work, that you are paying attention to the backs of your legs and only working at a depth that feels good to your body. We got 10 seconds left here. Nice and slow and even. Roll your way up. Lift your chin, tuck your chin, roll your way all the way down. And then once you come down this time, stay in that folded position. Hands are going to find the ground, super generous bend the knees. And now we're just going to start to bend the knees and then lift the butt up. So you don't need to straighten your legs all the way. We just want to find a gentle stretch in the backs of the legs. And as you're working here, just kind of notice, how do the backs of your legs feel? How is your back feeling this morning? And how is your energy level this morning? So did you get enough sleep last night? Did you get a good meal in this morning? Or did you have enough coffee? 30 seconds left, just bending and straightening your legs just as much as feels good. All right, and now for these last 10 seconds, if you can, take your butt all the way down and let your heels lift. So for my yoga friends, that's a little ball of yarn, and then lift it back up. And then if you can, do that again. Bend your knees, lift your heels, sink your butt all the way down. Awesome. And then the next time your butt comes all the way down, we're going to sit our butt down onto the ground. And then we're going to take it into some half rollbacks. So knees bent, you're going to either hold on to the backs of the thighs or the tops of the knees, whatever handhold works good for you. But we're going to curl the tailbone under, roll halfway back, engage those abdominal muscles, lift up, lift your chest. Roll back halfway so the tailbone curls under, engage the abdominal muscles, and then lift back up, lift your chest. Beautiful. Roll it back, and now just take this at your pace. This is not one of our speed rounds, so take your time here. Take the time to curl the tailbone under, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll back just to the point where you feel those abdominal muscles fire up, and then bring it right back up. Beautiful. Nice work, you guys. We got 10 seconds left. Awesome. From here, we're going to stay in a seated position, but grab your hand weights. We're going to move right into a V-sit, but we're going to lift the feet up off the ground, hold those feet in that upright position, and we're going to take it into some alternating bicep curls. So the elbows are going to stay out and away from the torso. So we keep the upper body engaged the whole time. We're leaning back so we engage the core muscles, and then we're just taking it, pulling that weight up to the shoulder, and then the other side. So what we want to try to find is a nice stability in our center. So even as you're doing those bicep curls, everything else is staying pretty steady. You might feel a little shake in the abdomen. Muscles are working pretty hard, but try to keep a nice lift in the chest. Bend one elbow and then the other. If you need to reset the toes down, take a break and then pull it back up. Do whatever you need to do just to find that center. A tiny lift in the chin so we're not yanking against the back of the neck muscles too much. And time. Woo, nice job. Okay, set your weights down off to the side. We're coming down onto our back, so roll all the way down, heels coming closer to the butt, like you're setting up for a bridge pose, but we're gonna take our hands alongside the hips and we're gonna do a nice long reach. So think a crunch, abdominal crunch. Reach through the fingertips, reach your fingertips towards your heels, curl up the head, neck, and chest, and then lower back down. So that's all you gotta do. Pull the abdominal muscles down towards the spine, reach through your fingertips, lift the chest and chin, and then lower back down with control. This is not a speed round, so take your time to really find pulling the abdominal muscles down and then contracting the abdominal muscles. Almost imagine that you're trying to pull your solar plexus up into the ribs as you reach through your fingertips. Nice work. You're already halfway there. Five seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to roll over onto one side. If you like here, here's where you can either use a throw pillow or your Pilates ball between the knees. So you're going to kind of set yourself up like as if you're taking a fetal position, but elbow and forearm down onto the ground. And then we're going to take it into that side plank with a hip lift. So we're just going to push into that bottom arm, lift your hips away from the ground, lower back down with control. If you don't want to use your pillow or your Pilates ball for that, just to find that inner thigh engagement, leave that part off. But all you got to do is push into your elbow and forearm, lift your hips away from the ground, engaging the side body, lowering with control. And then if you want a little bit more work, you might choose to take that top arm up, or you can load up with your weights. And as you lift up, you're going to lift that upper arm as well. Nicely done. You're already halfway there. As you find that side lift, really think about pulling those bottom ribs up away from the floor and the top ribs reach up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. And time. Awesome. Now we're going to stay in this sideline position, but from here, you're going to take that bottom arm, reach it around through so that you can find the opposite side ribs, and then you're going to lower your torso down. Now your top arm is going to do all the work. So your top arm is going to line up with your shoulder or wherever feels the most comfortable, and that arm is going to do the work. So you're going to push that top arm up. So think a single arm push up in that sideline position. Push into that top arm, lift yourself up, lower yourself back down with control. You're going nice and slow and steady. This is not one of our speed rounds. So we're just trying to find, so think plank spine so that your torso stays stable here. And most of the work is coming out of this top arm, pushing yourself up away from the floor, releasing down with control. Only go as high up as you can control, lifting and lowering with that same amount of control. So we want to come up slow and steady, lower, slow and steady. You got it. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Okay, flip back over onto your back side. Grab your weights. It's going to be a close grip chest press. And then we're going to take it into a pullover. So knees bent, weights hugging in nice and tight next to each other. Push up towards the ceiling. Reach up and overhead. Pull it back straight in front of the chest. Lower your elbows down. So keeping the elbows nice and tight against the ribs. We got 1 minute on the clock. Slow and steady here. Pushing upward, straight arms reach up and overhead. Pull it back in front of the chest. Lower your elbows down. If you're working with lighter weights, once you get that movement pattern down, maybe go a little bit faster just to get some extra reps in. If you're working with heavier weights, slow it down. Pay attention to that movement and then pay attention to your ribs, especially on that pullover. If your ribs and the upper back body are lifting off the ground, you might be using just a little bit too much weight. But if you can keep your ribs anchored, controlling as you lift up and overhead, controlling as you pull it back to the chest, then you're doing awesome. Take your time here. Make sure you're staying safe in your shoulders range of motion. And time. Awesome work. Okay, we're flipping over to the other side, setting ourselves up for that side plank. I'm going to spin around to face the camera. You spin around in any way that works good for you. So our knees are bent, elbow and forearm down. If you like that inner thigh connect, you're going to take your pillow or your Pilates ball, place it between the inner thighs. We're lifting the hips and the ribs up away from the ground, lowering with control. If you're not working with your Pilates ball or your pillow, leave that off. And if you want that extra bit of work, you're going to reach that top arm up and lower with control. And you can load that up with a weight too, if that feels good for your shoulder to do. Nice work, you guys. Beautiful. Nice, Robbie. Awesome, Liz. Yes, you guys, amazing work. And time. Beautiful job. Okay, now we're going to take it into that sideline position. So that bottom arm is going to reach around, finding the side ribs, top arm down on the ground. Now that top arm is doing all the work. We're pushing up away from the floor, lowering with control. Think plank spine here. So the whole torso moves as you lift up and then you lower it with control. So you should feel this in your shoulder. You'll feel it a little in the triceps as well. And then a little bit of work in the biceps. Make sure that you're staying safe in your range of motion, coming up as far as you can control and lowering with the same amount of control. Nice. Nice, Karen. Nice, Mara. You guys look awesome. Great job. 16 seconds left. You got this. And time. Beautiful job. All right, we're flipping over into a tabletop position to start, but this round is going to be a round for speed. So we're going to start with talk our way through it. Then I'll set the timer and you'll pick the variation that you like best. So you might be choosing to stay in this tabletop and it's just going to be shoulder taps for speed. You're going to go as fast as you can and you're going to keep your torso as stable as you can. If you think that's not quite enough work, you're going to take it into a tall plank. And again, you're firing away. You always have the option to bring it into that middle ground. So it's a knee down plank, shoulder tapping, but whatever variation you choose, we're going for speed. The timer's on. If you're not going for speed this morning, if you're not feeling it, go nice and slow and steady. Whatever the case may be, find your safe and healthy movement for your body this morning. Fast as you can if you're liking those speed rounds, or slow and mindful if speed's not for you today. Keep your belly pulling up and in. Yes, you guys, nice. Woo, and time. Beautiful job. Bring those knees down. Moving right into fire hydrants. 30 seconds one leg, 30 seconds the other. Not for speed. This is just a working recovery. So start with the right leg. Bent knee lifting up and out to the side. We got 30 seconds on this side. Keep your torso nice and stable. Keep your shoulders broad so that most of the work is coming out of the side of the thigh and the side of your glutes. Ten more seconds on this leg. All right, and when you're ready, switch, take it over to the other side. Left leg lifts up and out to the side. Bring it back in with control. Shoulders are stable. Nice long neck, so your gaze is down at the floor. You got 20 seconds left. You got this. And time. Awesome job. Okay, next round is a speed round. We're gonna take a hovering table. Knees are gonna come down and we're gonna touch both heels. So in real time, lift both knees, lower your knees, touch one heel, touch the other heel. Lift both knees, lower your knees, touch, touch. You're going as fast as you can. And then your option here is to keep your toes curled under or to work from the tops of the feet and keep your toenails on the ground. So that'll be totally up to you, whatever more comfortable, but find your speed here. Lift your knees, lower your knees, tap, tap, right back to that knee lift. Going as fast as you can. You can let your gaze follow that heel touch only if you don't get dizzy. If you feel like that'll make you dizzy, keep your head forward. 30 seconds left, fast as you can. If you're not going for speed this morning, as you hover that table, focus on just pulling the abdominal muscles in, hold your hover, and then think C-spine, just to find a little mobility in the spinal column. We got 15 seconds left, fast or slow, whatever is working for you this morning. And time. Awesome job. Okay, next up, we're getting ready for surfing. I'm already ready for summer, right? All right, so from our tabletop position, you can choose to hop or do a little step. You're gonna reposition your hands off to one side, step both feet off to one side, come up like you're coming up on a surfboard. Hands are gonna come back down to the middle of your mat. Step, step back, switch your hands, step over to the other side, come up to a standing position. Slow and steady, find your movement first. And then if it's feeling good, you're gonna take it into a sideways hop, lift up, down to the ground, jump your feet back, sideways hop, jump up, whichever variation is gonna work good for you and feel safe in your body. So you might choose to just play around with stepping your feet, rising up slowly, or take it at a more quick pace, getting ready for your surfing adventures this summer. So whatever works best for you. You got 5 seconds left. The next time you come up, come all the way up. And now we got one last speed round. So with a nice wide position, take it into a squat, lift up, rear leg lift, other leg lift, back to your squat, but we're taking it with speed. So sink into your squat, lift, lift, and right back to your squat. If speed is not for you this morning, slow and mindful, squeeze those glutes on the leg lift, and then right back to your squat. You got it. Ten seconds left. You got this. And time. Woo! Nicely done. Okay, working recovery. Take it to the back end of your mat. Sink into a nice low squat. We're going to hold that squat. Walk forward. Once you get to the front end of your mat, stay low. Turn yourself around. Walk forward. We're staying low the whole time. And then pay attention to which way you turn. And you're going to turn the opposite way to the other end of your mat. So if you turn to the left, as you come forward, turn to the right at the back end of your mat, just so you keep yourself even and play around with working that lead leg. Keep your butt nice and low. If you feel like this isn't quite enough work, grab your weights, load right up at the shoulders, but keep that butt nice and low. You got it. You're already halfway there. "20 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, grab a heavy set of weights if you've got it. It's going to be a little spin on our farmer's carry, but farmer's carry twist. So we're going to keep our feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. Keep your arms about 4 inches out away from your side body. And we're just going to twist. So we're going to keep our feet nice and anchored on the ground, hips and knees facing forward, finding the rotation out of the torso, but keep those hands nice and engaged, holding out from your side body, and almost imagine as you twist that you're getting taller as you rotate. So we're going to keep lifting upward with the torso, arms holding out at the sides, feet and legs nice and active, but staying super stationary. Nice work, you guys. Try to keep those hips as stable as you can, so not a lot of movement coming below the belly button. 13 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. All right, next up, we do have a little bit of shoulder movement. So if those heavier weights are not great for your shoulders, switch to a slightly lighter weight, but we're going to take it into a nice wide leg position. We're going to bend one knee, take a side lunge. Arms are going to raise out straight from the shoulders. Take it over to the other side. So we're taking it side to side, and you're just going to work with a weight that's appropriate for your shoulders. Bend one knee, keep the chest lifted up, and then arms come up and straight out from the chest. And I'll turn sideways just so you got a good visual. So our chest and our chin stay lifted. We bend one knee out to the side, arms raised straight out from the shoulders. Nice controlled movement all the way through. Beautiful. You're already halfway there. And time. Awesome job. All right, we're going to keep with a wide position with the legs, but set your weights down. And now we're going to externally rotate the feet so that we can take it back into that nice wide squat. We're going to hold that squatted position. And then this is just a little bit of mobility work. So hands to the insides of the knees. And we're twisting. We're drawing one shoulder forward and then the other. Think about pulling the abdominal muscles up as you come through center. And then exhale as you twist to one side. You can push your knee out as you twist away from that knee, but only if that feels like a safe and comfortable maneuver in your body. Don't go so far that you're pushing the knee past the point of your ankle, or you're putting yourself into injury in the inner thigh or groin muscles. So just, if you do push into that knee, make sure it's a safe range of motion for your body. You're already halfway there. Five seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, come on up, shake your legs out. Whew, holding that wide position can be a lot on the legs. Finishing up with just a little Pilates. So soles of the feet or heels together, toes out. So think your feet are in like a little pizza slice shape. And then we're gonna keep those heels together, grab your hand weights. Arms are gonna be out at the chest, palms facing in with a little bend in the elbows. We're gonna sink into a little demi-plie or a little squat. And then as we rise up, arms are going to open out nice and wide. Sink down into a little squat, arms come in for a little hug. Rise up and open your arms nice and wide. As you sink down into your little squat, you're going to think about curling the tailbone slightly under and reaching up through the crown of your head. So tailbone down, head up. And that's the maneuver we're going for. Nice. As you come up into that straight leg position, think about zipping up your inner thighs. Keep your abdominal muscles pulled in as you open and close your arms. Still imagine that you're pulling your ribs in towards each other. So most of that movement is coming out of the shoulders, not the abdomen and the ribs. Beautiful. And time. Woo, nice job. Okay, set your weights off to the side. Give your legs a little shake. Make sure everything feels good. We're going to step our feet to a nice wide position. Hinge from your waist. Fold down towards the ground. Let your hands find the ground. And then come back to those little side lunges here, but with your hands on the ground. Just take a couple little times side to side. Cool. And then as you come back to center, both legs are going to straighten. Walk your hands over towards your right foot. Soften your nose toward your knee. Nice. And then when you're ready, walk it over to the other leg. Soften your nose toward your knee. Beautiful. Walk back to center. Left hand underneath your nose with the palm on the ground. Right hand's going to reach up for a little twist. Beautiful. Bring that hand down. Right hand underneath your nose. Left hand's going to reach up for a little twist. Awesome. Bring that hand down to the ground. Bend both knees. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to standing. Toe heel your feet into about hip width distance apart. Take a nice big breath. We're going to grab one wrist. So think, grab the wrist and lift, and then lean over to that side. Beautiful. Come back up to center. Switch your grip. Lift, and then lean over. Beautiful. Come back up with control. Release your arms. Take 3 good shrugs of your shoulders. And then we're going to take the left arm, bring it across the body, grab the back of that arm, drop your shoulder down. Take 3 good nods of your head up and down. Let your head come to neutral, release that arm, take it over to the other side, catch the back of the arm, drop the shoulder away from the ear. And then once you've got your handhold, lift your chin up and down about 3 times. Beautiful. Bring your head to neutral, release that arm, give everything a nice little shake out, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your legs. You guys are amazing. Grab your big stability ball if you're sticking around. Nice work today.